All right, race fans, are you ready for an exciting night of late model stock racing at the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway? We have 75 laps around this 5/8 of a mile racetrack for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. Starting on the front row, we have the 08 of Ryan Pittman with a lap time of 18.268. 200ths of a second off that pole. We have Joshua Gaiman starting to his outside. P3, Sean Skytman. P4, we have Kyle St. John. Tyler Peebles is going to be starting in the 5th position. 6th, Stephen Overstat. 7th, Alyssa Peltier Sharp. David Allen is going to be starting 8th here tonight. Patrick Overstat is going to be starting 9th. P10, Alexander Hagerman. P11, Brian Johnson. P12, Anthony Cordray. Ray Andrews is going to be starting in the 13th position. David Watts, 14th. 15th, Justin Walbring. 16th, Marco Berube. And rounding out your 17-car field, we have Evan Amick in that number 77 Sundrop livery. Looking back from the back of the pace car, once again we see the leaders here getting ready to fire off. We have one lap and then we will be releasing these cars down into turn 1. This race mirroring the Winter World 125 that will be happening the Wednesday night before the All-Star race in real life. Of course, that being hosted by the Cars Tour. Speaking of the Cars Tour, that number 08, Deke McCaskill livery, a driver that is no stranger to the Cars Tour, has been running in the Cars Tour since basically its inception, has Deke McCaskill. In the driver's seat, we have Ryan Pittman behind that 08. Lights are off on the pace car. He will be dipping down onto pit road this time by, and we will be firing the engines and firing off for 75 laps here at Wilkesboro. Through the restart zone, the 08 fires off, and we are under green here at Wilkesboro. Down in the 1, Ryan finds that low line. 61 tucks in behind, decides not to run too hard on that outside, finds an opening down below and immediately takes it. Ryan Pittman to the charge. 61 falls into your 2nd position. A little bit farther back, we have a little bit of a stack up here on the start. We all stay clean and green as one of the drivers looked like he might have gotten into the wall just to take back up front. Ryan Pittman continues to charge. 61 of Joshua Gaiman continues right in the 2nd spot. Right on his heels, we have the number 5 of Kyle St. John. Some very quick drivers up here at the front, looking to see if they can bring it home victorious and ride the famous car lift up to victory lane here tonight. Looking from the in-car camera of Kyle St. John here off of our 4th turn and downhill into 1. Of course, yes, North Wilkesboro, a very unique track here. Uphill is down the back stretch and downhill down the front stretch here, as it looks like Kyle is going to be looking for a pass on that number 61, and we have a new 2nd place leader, Kyle St. John, here tonight. Joshua Gaiman moved back to the 3rd position. It looks like Tyler Peebles is going to be moving up on the inside of the 37 of Sean Skytman there. Tyler Peebles moving to the 5th position. Just in front of him is Stephen Overstat in that number 3, one of 2 Overstat boys here tonight. Stephen and Patrick, who's a little bit farther back in that number 6 machine. There we see Patrick Overstat getting around the 94 of Allen there. A little bit farther up, door to door to the inside, we have Alyssa Peltier Sharp trying to make it through the number 37 of Sean Skytman. As we mentioned, Sean looked like he might have got a little bit loose off the 4th turn. Alyssa Peltier moving up to the 6th position. She has moved up more than a few spots already here tonight. Tyler Peebles taking a little bit of extracurricular activities going through the grass. Alyssa capitalizing on that mistake from the 75 and immediately goes down to the inside of Tyler Peebles here tonight. Tyler Peebles falling back to the 6th position here as Alyssa moves up to the 5th. Up front, it's all single file. A little bit farther back, we have a little bit of battles all throughout the field, but mostly single file. Patrick Overstat looking like he might be going down to the inside of the 37, decides not to do so. Coming off the 4th turn, will he make a decision to try to make it to the inside off of the front stretch? No, he is not. With no run down out of 2, he is going to slip in and continue to stay in the 8th position right behind that 37 machine. Going back up front, looking from the inside. Maybe a little bit of contact there from the 3 machine with the 18 as well. He's going to take a look from the rear bumper of the 3 and the front bumper.
Let's all get it right here.
Number 3 yielding that position to Alyssa here in the 18.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make contact
She's
with you
gonna
before.
slide up to our 4th spot here tonight, clear up off of 4.
All good.
Alyssa making up, as I mentioned, a few spots already. She may be running just a little bit too hard here, but we shall see. We do have one set of tires here in the pits for tonight, but no guarantee that we are going to have an opportunity to use them. There are no competition cautions, no stage breaks in this series, so you got what you got unless a caution comes out, and then you do have the opportunity to go down and grab some tires, but no guarantee that we have an opportunity to grab them. Once again, up front, a 0.2 second lead is the 08 over the number 5 machine here tonight. A little bit farther back, we once again have another little battle here with the 18 making no waste of time trying to make her way up to the back end of the podium position. Looking to the outside goes the 18, maybe to try to get a little bit lower of an exit off before it looked like she might have got just a little bit loose there. Back to the front bumper of the 18 machine here, looking to the rear fuel cell of the 61. Maybe a little bit of a shot to the bumper here. Maybe patience wearing thin early in this race already. Alyssa Peltier-Sharp goes down to the inside, and she is going to see if she can claim that back end of the podium position, trying to get around the 61. Door to door here off of 4. Is she going to clear up off the 4? Does not look like she may. She will actually, but the 61 charges hard back on the outside. 18 might have got a little bit loose off of that 4th turn and given an opportunity for that 61 to get back to her outside bumper panel. Once again, 61 charging hard on that outside, able to keep up with that 18. But 18 is going to be able to clear once again as you go 17 laps on the board, 58 to go here tonight. Short race, only 75 laps. But as short as this race is, tire wear will be a factor. This track absolutely will eat up your right front tire if you are not careful. So trying to get into the corners as smoothly as possible and try to open up the wheel off the corners is going to help you out. Let's go ahead and take a look from our leaders here, trying to see how these drivers are managing their front tires, looking at the wheel input, how smooth they are with the wheel. Kyle St. John looking like he's got a pretty smooth wheel here off of 4. We'll see how it looks going into our 3rd turn, looking like he almost got into the wall there off of 2. Once again, steady wheel coming up off the 4. Not much overcorrection in the wheel. Let's look at our leader here in the 08. Going into the turn, not a whole lot of brake. Doesn't look like getting into the corners here. Up off the corner, just straight with the wheel. Not a whole lot of input at all. Going into 3 once again. Just enough input to make the car turn and almost straight with the wheel up off the corner. Let's look at our number 18 machine and look at her wheel input to see what we got here. Of course, Alyssa, as we mentioned, has been driving quite aggressively. A lot more wheel input off the corner. Fighting the handling of that car already. Maybe trying to drive it off the right rear just a little bit. With maybe just a little bit more wheel input to get the car to turn up into the 3rd turn and up off of 4. So yeah, we will see as the run goes on how the tires feel on this number 18 machine compared to our leaders. And Gaiman here in the 61 as he continues to find the back bumper of that number 18 machine. Going a little bit farther back, we have the number 54 of David Watson, that Fuzzadoo Racing late model stock here with a 3-car battle between David Watts, Evan Amick, and Justin Walbring. Mentioned that number 77 Sundrop Chevrolet going to be driven by Sammy Smith here for the Cars Tour event here in May. Dale Jr., who usually will run the race, has ran for the last 2 years, won't be able to make it due to prior obligations. So sitting in as the driver for the number 3 machine is going to be Sammy Smith here as a fill-in driver for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who will plan on making the race later on in the year. Yes, 2 times out at Wilkesboro this year for the Cars Tour. In the past, it's only been 1, but they extended it to 2 races here. 1 right before the All-Star race for the Cup Series, and then 1 at the very end of the year for the season finale for the Cars Tour, as well as the Smart Modified Tour. Yes, the Smart Modified Tour will also be racing here at North Wilkesboro in the same night. So an excellent night of racing for both open wheel modifieds and late model stock car racing. Let's go ahead and take a look back up at the front. We have a 1/10 of a second lead here from the number 5 to the 08 of Ryan Pittman. Once again, that number 5 hounding the back bumper here. Two drivers with over a second lead back to the car in third place. Almost a half a straightaway pulled away are these two drivers up front to the car in third. And then from the car in third back about 5 car lengths to the 61 of Joshua Gaiman here. Tyler Peebles looking down to the inside of the number 3 of Stephen Overstat here. He's going to take the point down to the inside, charging back into one, trying to take that fourth position, or fifth position, correct me, going into 3. Joshua Gaiman yielding that position there to the number 75. Looking from our rear bumper cam to 75 to Tyler Peebles here. Some excellent shots here tonight. Give ourselves an opportunity to talk about the Grassroots Big Events Racing League as we see our two leaders continuing to extend their lead to third place. Grassroots Big Events Racing League is a league founded by Ryan Pittman. Features a lot of grassroots level big events across the country, from tour mods to super late models to late model stocks. Even features a couple Silver Crown races and some sprint car races once we get some tracks like Anderson on the sim and Winchester as well. We've got races such as the 5 Flag Snowball Derby, the All-American 400 at Nashville Fairgrounds, the Myrtle Beach 400 at Myrtle Beach, the Valley Star Credit Union 300 at Martinsville, as well as some tour modified events such as the Spring Sizzler, which we had just a few weeks ago. So a lot of events. We have about near 20 events on the schedule for this year. Again, ranging of a multitude of car classes. Looks like the 5 is going to dip down to the inside of the 08 here. Ryan Pittman holding the wheel down to the outside. He's going to try to stay to the outside, but no, into 1. He's going to tuck in back to the back bumper of the number 5 machine, almost looking like he's going to get to the back bumper, but bails out at the last second. We have a new leader, number 5, Kyle St. John, here tonight. Looking back, once again, the 08, Ryan Pittman not losing a whole lot of ground to the leader. He may be thinking that he has a set pace in his head of how hard he wants to run. Of course, as you mentioned, this is a long race here tonight, as Pittman looks like he got into the wall, so he may be actually fighting the handling of the race car. Only time will tell here, but there's one of two possibilities. Either the handling of that race car has gone away, or he's trying to save a little bit of tire here and just try to follow the tire tracks of that number 5. A little bit further ahead, we do have some lap cars here that may play a factor in this battle for the lead here. That is the number 99 of Marco Berube, number 54 of David Watson, the number 1 of Justin Walbring. Take a look from the back bumper here of the number 99 machine of Marco Berube, as you see the leader starting to close in ever so slightly on the lap traffic here tonight. Both cars looking like it might have gotten a little bit loose off of 2, especially from the 08 machine getting loose, real loose off of 2. Let's go back to the inside car camera, watch the wheel work from that number 08 machine. See how the handling is looking from that machine. Once again, as we mentioned, the leaders coming up quick on lap cars, filling up the absolute mirror of the 99 of Arube. A little bit of shot to the bumper goes to number 5. Leaders trying to make their way through lap traffic. One car goes low, one car goes high. Pittman trying to work onto the outside, does not make it work. 99 goes high. Pittman trying to dive back down to the bottom, trying to get by these lap cars here. Of course, lap cars have every right to race these leaders as hard as they seem fit to keep from going a lap down here. We do have waiver rounds. We do have lucky dogs here tonight, but don't want to use them if you don't have to. You never know when a caution might come out. David Watt's yielding plenty of room to our leaders here tonight as David Watt goes a lap down. So the leaders are much appreciative to that gesture from the 54 machine. Let's continue to go back through the field once again. Up front it continues to be all just Kyle St. John and the 08 of Pittman. P3 continues to be Alyssa Peltier Sharp there in the number 18 machine. P4 of Hagerman and that Jimmy Johnson, number 48. Brian Johnson in the 27 continues to run in the 5th position here tonight. Back to the number 51 of Ray Andrews in that Misfits of Motorsports number 51. Misfits of Motorsports, another league that I participate in and has found it to be plenty fun on Saturday nights. Saw a little bit of smoke there, wondering if that was from the 48 of Hagerman there. Looking back to our 8th position is Evan Amick in that number 77. Justin Walbring in P8 looking like he may be going a lap down here momentarily as we see the leaders there in the rear view mirror. Leaders continue to battle it out, almost like a chess match between the two on who can save the better tire. Ryan Pittman getting right back down to the back bumper of Kyle St. John. Looking back at the rear bumper cam of the number 5 machine. Sun's starting to go down. You see that sunset starting to build. Track temperatures are beginning to cool. That may change the handling of these late model stocks here tonight. Of course, the late model stocker car, the most would say, is not the most difficult car to run in the sim. So there's not really a whole lot of options or availabilities in the tool belt for these drivers here tonight. One of the biggest things they have in their back pocket that they can use is tire wear and trying to save the right front tire, which is going to be absolutely eaten by the end of this race by that abrasive surface that we have at North Wilkesboro.
Thank you.
There, the number 94 looks like he may be a little bit slow off of our second turn. Brian Johnson continues to hold the 6th spot here to Ray Andrews back behind him. Back up front, 55 laps in the book, going to 19 laps to go here tonight. Laps shortening down, getting down to the end of this race. Two cars up front continue to have about near 2.4 second interval back to the car in the 3rd position. Of course, Alyssa Peltier Sharp, as we mentioned, really quick up front, actually holds the quickest time for tonight of an 18.432. But has continued to fall off lap after lap, looking at her lap times of a 19.012 to the leaders 18.794 and 18.883. So the lap times certainly are not there as of right now for Alyssa Peltier-Sharp. She's certainly hoping for a caution here later in the going. Starting to eye the back door of some lap traffic here. Let's look as the leaders come off the second turn here. Oh, with a little bit of contact, and 48-5 goes almost around. The number 08 has to check up there. Almost a hairy moment for the leaders here tonight. Not sure entirely what happened if the 48 just maybe made a move that might have been a little bit unpredictable there, or if he was just trying to run the leaders a little bit harder. As we mentioned, the 48 has every right to try to keep these leaders in his rear view mirror and fight for that lead lap as hard as he seems fit, but certainly a little bit of a hairy moment there for the leaders. Let's take a look at the back bumper of that number 5, see if he has any kind of damage to that Ford Mustang. Does not appear to be much damage there on the front, but he may have slid his tires just a little bit. Once again, the 5 trying to work around the 48 of Hagerman. Hagerman going way wide into the marbles there, yielding positions to the leaders. He fought hard there for a second, but let's see the end number 08 off the 4th turn, getting a run down to the inside of the 5. We do have a battle for the lead as we get 10 laps to go here. The time has come to charge for the 08 car. Down to the inside goes Ryan Pittman, to the outside. Kyle St. John holding strong on that outside line. Let's take a look from Kyle St. John from his in-car camera. You see the 08 down to his inside there. Let's see if the car gets a little bit loose running that higher line, a lane that he has not run all night. Pittman goes back to the lead. Kyle with a little bit of a back bumper to Pittman. He's going to be going back down to the inside here. There are leaders coming up off of Ford, door to door, almost making a little bit of contact down the straightaway. Kyle St. John back to the inside. 08 having none of it. He's going to try to power off the second turn, and he's going to once again clear the 5 off of 2. Ryan Pittman continues to lead here tonight for the second time tonight, looking like he might have got just a little bit loose. Let's take a look from that in-car camera. Look at some of the wheel and pedal work here. Certainly a lot more movement in the wheel than we saw before. That right front tire starting to wear out, as well as the rear tire on the exits. Still holds a relatively straight wheel. Looks like he might have caught the front stretch wall there. Number 94 looked like he might have got into the wall just a little bit up ahead of the leaders. 94 a little bit slow. Is he going to decide to come down pit road? He may. Back up front, 08, P2, number 5. Kyle St. John falling back to half a second.
I'm digging that team, man. Looks good.
Lead here as we look from our turn 2 camera, waiting for the leaders to come by. There's the 08, there's the 5, and the 77 was a lap down, and Gaiman there back behind him. Three laps to go here tonight. 2 now on the board. Ryan Pittman going down the backstretch. Only a few circuits left here tonight. Going down to our front stretch camera. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go here tonight for the Cars Tour event at North Wilkesboro. Once again, white flag in the air from Barney, our flagman. 1 lap to go. Ryan Pittman leading here once again tonight. Is he going to be able to hold off and bring home the victory? He is. Ryan Pittman victorious here at North Wilkesboro. As it looked like we had a car sliding down the front straightaway. That is Gaiman there in the number 61. But Ryan Pittman bringing home the victory at North Wilkesboro. P2, Kyle St. John. Let's go ahead and go through our finishing positions here. Bringing home the win, Ryan Pittman holding almost a 9/10 of a second lead to Kyle St. John. Joshua Gaiman bringing home the back end of the podium in P3, Patrick Oberstadt. P4, P5, Stephen Oberstadt. P6, Alyssa Peltier Sharp. P7, Anthony Cordray. P8, Brian Johnson. P9, Ray Andrews. 1 lap down in your back end of the P10 position, Evan Amick. Sean Skytman, P11. Marco Berube, P12. P13, Alexander Hagerman. David Watts bringing home 14. David Allen, P15. 16th, Justin Walbring. And Tyler Peebles, 27 laps down, brings home your final position here tonight. Once again, an excellent night of racing here for the Grassroots Big Events Racing League. Ryan Pittman once again bringing home that victory. Next week, Grassroots returns for the Hoosier 100 at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Lucas Oil IRP for the Silver Crowns. Going to be another exciting night. Hopefully we have a great car count once again. That is going to do it for tonight. One last thing I wanted to say, everybody, please, please, please go out and support your local short tracks. These short tracks have some of the best, absolutely best racing in the country right now. Everywhere from the Carolinas of Southern National to Wake County Speedway, my home racetrack, to South Boston, to, as we mentioned here, North Wilkesboro, to the California Irwindale Speedway, to Berlin Raceway up in Michigan, to Five Flags Speedway in Florida. So many great, great racetracks all across the country. Certainly you have one next to you, and I would please encourage you to go and watch some fantastic short track racing. This is where the passion is. This is where the love of the sport just overflows with passion. So with that, we're going to close out for the night. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure to tune in next time